Sorry guys, there has been a wild interruption during the time of video. So let's continue with the third thing, which we also look into this. The third is that empowerment. It is very much important to empower the employees and empower the people within you. The role of leaders is not to get other people to follow them, but to empower others to lead. It is like a role model, it's like a follower, which is imprinted within their soul so that they will be able to follow and leave the footprints or leave the footsteps behind the organization. Someone has to be a role model for each and everyone's life. It can also be our father, it can also be some role model like organizational entrepreneurs or something like that. So the role model which you have actually fixed and followed in your life should be of great characteristics. It also depends upon an individual's perspective of who you pick up as a role model. So give your team member the power and authority to carry out the task. The power which you give the team member depends upon the importance the organization has been dependent on the individual. The power should not be misutilized. The power should be gained as much as confident, and the authority is been connected with the power. Within authority, responsibility also widens up. So authority and responsibility comes within same part. This also being elaborated in the 14 principles of organization, where authority and responsibility is been connected and interlinked with the two types of them. So with this, you allow them to exercise control. You have control emotional involvement. You have control authority. Your authority is being controlled. Your authority doesn't have any overruled. You should not experience, or you should not what do you say, misconcept your authority. Authority is something of great importance and level. This authority is being as a deliverables, some kind of goals and some kind of authority which comes within you as a role model. If you take, you daily practice it, you daily embrace it, so this becomes as a future role models within the youth and development. So you allow it to work independently. You consistently sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw, what I mean is that sharpen your skills, sharpen your knowledge, widen your perspective. Look into things. You don't see everything as a negativity. You convert into a positive attitude, convert into a positive mode, turn nothing into something. This is what I do. This is what you do. This is what authority helps us to do. If you have automatically if you have authority, responsibility also widens up. This responsibility is what I mean is that you continuously do a task, you continuously find ways in improving your task as well. This responsibility widens up. If you take a role model as our father, or someone as a head of the family, their responsibility in taking care of the family, in responsibility going to work, responsibility getting early in the morning, responsibility doing a routine life, it also depends upon responsibility in taking care of their grandchildren. This is also some responsibility you can take in life. Allow yourself, embrace yourself to take risk handling is an important factor there, as much as grievance handling, where you call it upon a company. Risk handling, as you see, if you take risks, willing to take risks, even though the company on the back of the ad, if then even though the company is have belief in you, if you are willing to take risk on jeopardizing your company without jeopardizing it, yes, I'm going to take this risk. This involves lot of risk taking. So you're going to take the job, you're going to take the task, you're going to involve yourself, you're going to interest and involve, embrace yourself within the goal. This risk taking is an important factor in life. Some point of time you have to take risk. There should be willingness in you to take risk. Risks are not granted, but at some point of time you have to take risk to improve the company's objective and improve the company's growth and competencies. Allow individuals to make critical decision. Allow your team leaders as well as allow your employees to take decision. Some decision has to take by the employees, but as I'm saying, allow the employees also take decision, because at one point of time, not every time the team leader, not every time the head of the operations or head managers will be on their side. At some point of time, team leaders and employees also should take decision, which also has a greater impact, positive impact towards the company. Recognition. Most of the companies or most of the employees, even though they work, even though they get perks and even though they get other benefit, the recognition part they're not able to get is a saddening stage. The motivation which involves in a team, the team should get recognized. Even though the team has 5 members, everybody, each and everyone would be contributing into some other work. Each and everyone should be recognized for their important task allocation as well as their important work factor, because recognition plays a vital part in each and every employees. Maya Angelou once said that I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. It depends upon how to interlink with this. People will always forget what you said because it depends upon a lifespan where you go through. It is very fast. You will not remember what they speak about you. It all depends upon the objective. People will also forget what you did on the point of time. What you did, people tend to forget that because life has to move on, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This experience, how we made them feel in any point of stage, people also will never forget. So this type of experience which you give, this type of treatment which you give within the people, the emotional part is that this becomes a learning factor. Even though you have been in times where you are not able to express or not able to meet, it made you feel something miserable, you take it as a positive sign and work on the goal consistently, so that even though you develop something mutually, this becomes a positive impact. Recognition can be appreciated. Being treated with respect and dignity to the employees is an important part. If the organization is not able to treat employees and their employees with respect and dignity, it is very sorry to say that the employees doesn't have a major role to play in the organization. If you don't have respect, dignity in what you're doing, you should actually leave the organization and find better. Organizations normally doesn't choose people. People choose the organization. So organization is like, you have to be in the organization even though you have a lot of crisis and hard times. So this feeling of belongingness and ownership, once you take as a boss or take as a leader, it widens up with the responsibility. So the third which I'm going to highlight you about is that the SWAN formula. So of course you would have known the SWAN formula, but people, if you don't know, I will explain it. SWAN, SWAN. S is for smart. You have to be smart, you have to be specific, you have to be measurable, you have to be approachable, you have to be realistic, and you have to be time bound in your goal. Work hard. You continuously work on your goal. You continuously become hard appeal. You continuously be very hard, and you continuously be emotional. You don't have any emotional connect in what you're doing. You consistently work on your goal. Of course there should be ambition, it should be fixed within you. Be nice to people, as people is important in our organization. So the last and final thing which I want to highlight you about is the Maslow's need of theory. So it actually signifies upon the individuals on their basic need, social need, self-actualization need. The basic need, the Maslow's hierarchy theory highlights upon the hierarchy of needs and the satisfaction of basic like food, shelter and home. Finally, the need of one's vision in the company, it depends upon how the person is having a proper food on day-to-day basis, proper shelter, and proper recognition is the personality where he carries upon the workplace. Focus on the development of healthy individual. Take care of your health. People also have various problems on not taking care of their health, taking it very seriously on the organization part. Of course, people is also more important. At the end of the day, people is the only thing that matters in the organization, because they are the one who's able to run the organization, who's able to deliver targets, who are able to motivate other people. Without people, there is no organization, there is no nothing. So people also has to develop the good health. They also have to involve their culture. They should have importance in the organization culture, their self-actualization. After fulfilling every social needs, they should also fulfill other goals as well. This is what self-actualization. And biggest point of thing in life is that you find satisfaction of doing this. Most of the basic things, if they are unfulfilled, the self-actualization stage is not. You will be not able to reach the self-actualization stage at one point of time. So Maslow's hierarchy theme is very important as we connect between the organization goal. Sometimes if you are lacking in this, it presents an intuitive and potentially useful theory, because if you are lacking in this, you cannot deliver the human motivation. So you have to philosophize on an empty stomach. In Aristotle, what you said is that work absorbs and degrades the mind. Once you start doing work, you tend to love your job, you tend to love your work, you continuously do your work, but at one point of time you don't take care of your own self, or you don't take care of your own health. It degrades the mind. And so facing up death and accepting the inevitability is the last stage of Maxwell's hierarchy theory. You find satisfaction, you find love in satisfying others' needs. That is what self-actualization needs, to fulfill others' needs. One of the enormous stage of the self-actualization needs is that achieving one's potential. You have reached the highest potential stage where you have to achieve and actualize and fulfill others' needs. This is what finds satisfaction. This is what you will find as a satisfaction part in the deliverables of an individual. So with this, I'm actually ending my presentation. I will also suggest you some conclusion and takeaways with the slides where you will be able to utilize it on a day-to-day basis. Typically, company focus upon the compensation and perks and benefit. So this is very important to motivate the employees. Each and every company should have a better compensation benefit, should have good perks, as well as should have a retirement pension as well, like benefits. However, employees also has some of the factors which cannot be compensated towards the benefit. That is what physical love, physical affection, physical belongingness towards the company. Company has to give them the emotional support, the emotional bonding towards the crisis type, so that employees feel they are much more recognized than what they're doing. This means the job satisfaction is very important. Of course, the retention strategies, what I'm talking about again and again, is also very important. By fulfilling this, you have been taking care of the entity of the organization. So what I say is that the key takeaway is that smile, always smile, be positive, ask questions again and again. If you have doubts as well, you can actually comment on the below sections, ask questions. As well as in my video, I am taking it as an organizational perspective. You ask questions. The moment you ask question, you're putting up a firm endpoint. Listen to them, listen to the organization. Of course, the negative aspect, you just delete it. The positive aspect, you listen it. Be polite in what you say. Of course, people is important in an organization. Without people, the organization would not be able to survive in the final stage. With this, I am ending my video. Please subscribe to my video. Please mention your below comments as well. And you can also suggest some of the conclusions and key takeaways which I need to improve upon personally, and I will also put videos which you guys are interested on the further code. Thank you.